Hi, I'm Chris Tobing. This is Matt Buzzy. Today we're here taking a look at the iBuyPower Snowblind Element PC case, which has got a brand new, completely unique element on it. Part of where the name comes from is a monitor that's actually embedded in the case.
Functionally, the case is a case, but the screen is obviously a screen. So it doesn't run on its own, I assume. How do you manipulate the screen? Like, what kind of things can you put on the display? Like, also, is it an LCD monitor? Like, tell me more about that.
So yeah, basically what they've done is they've taken an LCD monitor and just essentially just stripped the backing out of it and kept it transparent. So every LCD monitor that you buy on the market today looks like this, but it's got a backing on it that will actually make the colors pop out, and it's a black backing it displays what you're seeing here against that screen. So now they've stripped that out so you can actually see through it, and then anything that gets displayed onto it sort of blacks it out, creates that contrast, you can sort of see it, and then the whites, if you display anything white on the screen, you'll see straight through.
So this sort of panel is the unique thing about this computer, but does it just come on this one build, on this one case? Like, what's the deal with how you get this panel, and is it only on this exact configuration?
So we actually saw this at CES 2018, but it was in a pre-built system, and you could only buy the entire system. You couldn't buy this case independent of the system, so you had to spend upwards of $2,000 just to get your hands on this thing. Nowadays, you can actually buy 3 different versions of this case. There's the Snowblind N450, the Snowblind Element, which we have here, and the Snowblind S, which is a smaller version of pretty much this exact same case. They've been released as independent cases. This case in particular goes for $299. And you can get, you can build it just like any other PC. So if you take your old PC,
get it completely empty?
You can get it completely empty. Everything is just a normal case, except you get the side screen.
Gotcha. And do they also offer configurations pre-built as that come with this screen, or is it case only?
You can also get, each one of those cases also come as a pre-built system. If you go on iBuyPower's website, they'll sell the entire system.
Gotcha. So what software, how does it work, and like what kind of things can you actually put on the screen?
So there's 3 different pieces of software that help you kind of manage the second monitor and let you display sort of whatever you want. The first is called Rainmeter. Rainmeter is a commonly available open source piece of software that will display anything from a clock to the iBuyPower logo to disk usage, GPU, a whole bunch of information about your system. And you can go ahead and throw that over here.
Like little widgets. You can drag them around your desktop, or with this, you can put it right onto the panel.
Exactly. And then there's a second piece of software called Illustrio, which is made for mainly, you can kind of create whatever you want. You can make graphics, you can make moving, sort of something like what we have on here, some moving animations, some sort of anything you really want to make, you can sort of put on here and see how it looks. And the third is called Wallpaper Engine. It's from Steam, it's $5. It doesn't actually come with the case, which was a little bit of a disappointment. You know, $299 for the actual case. You'd hope that they'd actually throw in a $5 piece of software.
Of the 3, this kind of seems the one you would use the most or mess with the most to actually get different animations and things on your panel.
Exactly.
So it should maybe be included.
You would think, and a lot of the iBuyPower branded stuff is actually in Wallpaper Engine, but again, you got to pay $5 to get in that sort of walled garden of software.
It's like a Steam Workshop situation, right? People can upload things, including the official stuff, and also any user-created content is shipped to that.
Exactly. So you can browse a huge number. I mean, thousands and thousands of wallpapers. Not all of them will really be compatible with this. They'll display. But as we'll get into, you need to use sort of high contrast images or high contrast animations that will have sort of the ability to show bright colors or really dark blacks or really bright whites, because as we've mentioned, this is a clear panel, so seeing anything through it is a little bit temperamental.
Yeah, I don't know how well it's even showing up, but like the widgets that pop up with Rainmeter, they're black, so if you're looking directly at a component through it, it can kind of be hidden by the component behind it. So
exactly.
You got to get something that actually pops off the panel.
Exactly. And iBuyPower, when they started selling this case independent of their pre-built system, one of their major recommendations was get as many white components as you can, because if you put anything white behind it, as you'll see sort of on this side, there's a white panel, which is right here. Behind it, you can see a lot better. So they suggest white cables, white SSDs, there's white plates that you can buy for your GPU. There are white motherboards out there. If you're really gonna go for it, you're gonna go for the gusto, and you're gonna wanna get as many white components put in this PC as you possibly can.
All right, so then just to wrap up, what are your thoughts on it as like is it just a fun gimmick? Is it actually, do you actually like it? I mean, it's like fun. I think it's kind of fun, but I don't know that I would like choose to buy it on a value basis.
It's a fun gimmick, and if you go to a lot of LAN parties, if you want to show something off that nobody else has seen before, I mean, if you go to a lot of LAN parties, everybody's got all the RGB, they've got all the lights, and it's really not a unique way to stand out anymore. It used to be if you had a lot of RGB, you could really stand out with that. This is a way to stand out. If you really want to just take it to the next level and show something that no one's ever seen before, this is going to be the case that you want to buy.
Or at home, conversation piece, like you have money to burn, and you're like, this thing's cool, my friends will like this, I want to put this on my computer.
Exactly. For me, personally, I feel like it's a little bit overpriced. I mean, if you're buying a $100 case, this is, I would say, just about a $100 case. This is $299. You're adding quite a bit of an extra expense just to show something off. Not my cup of tea, but there are definitely plenty of people out here who want this sort of thing. iBuyPower was making this system for a long time, and they actually released the cases because there was such a huge demand just for the case. So obviously there are people out there who want this sort of thing sitting on their desk or at a local LAN tournament, but for me, I wouldn't put the money out.
Yeah, and that seems to be the thing. It's a bit of a personal preference item, kind of a luxury buy, but it is a fun one. This is the iBuyPower Snowblind Element case. You can check out for the full review on PCMag.com.